This video is not actually a new question that I am solving. I am actually revisiting the first video that I put out about I think 2 days ago. After reviewing my solution, I've noticed that the solution doesn't work for every test case. Um, in certain test cases, the algorithm that I gave just doesn't work. And so this is a test case in which the algorithm that I first gave fails. Say you are given this array and you are asked to pick two numbers out of this one that could add up to 4, and you apply the algorithm that I gave you, then you will see that, okay, it will add all of these ones into, like, all of these numbers into a set, and then it will start taking each number by number and then subtracting that one from this one and checking if the difference was in this array. And so if you use the algorithm, it will get to 2, subtract 2 from 4, getting 2, and checking if 2 is in that set. And when it checks, it will find 2, and then it will return true. But this solution will be wrong because it is using the same number twice, which the question didn't give us the option to do, and so we will be wrong in that case. And so I am forced to come up with a different solution to the question. And I think the solution is quite simple. Instead of using a set, we will be using a map instead, and so every number that we've checked, we will add that number into the map as a key, and we will add its index as its value, so that we can be sure that we are not checking the same number twice. And so let us try and implement that solution right now. We will return this one. First name is solution. The solution is going to take in another, and it's also taking a before. And then this screen method we have not returned a value, so we return false. And so let us start. Let us define the map. So the C# equivalent for a map is a dictionary. It's similar to Python. So equal to dictionary. So we will start a for loop. For equal to 0. Then again, the reason why I put the length here and not here is that I learned from CS50 that if you put this sub method call here, it will be calling it on every iteration of the loop. So that's why I put it here, So just in case if you didn't know why I did that, but I will continue. So I am saying that first check if the content doesn't key. So if the map contains you check if the map contains the difference. If it does, then that means that there are indeed two numbers that can sum up to this guy, and so we are going to return it. If that is not the case, then we will now add and the current index at 1. And so this looks quite self-explanatory. Map allows us to do a constant time lookup. So like it is similar to the set in that regard. And it also allows us to keep track of the index so that like we know that okay, we are not like repeating the same stuff again. So that so let us see if this will now work for this part. So we will now start. We are looking for two numbers in this array that can sum up to 4. And so we start with 1, we subtract 1 from 4, that is 3. We check, is 3 in the map? So at the very beginning, the map is empty, and so 3 is not. So that will be false. So we will add now 3 to this map, and we will add this index. So like in the map, we have 3, 0 in it. And so we now move on to 2. We ask ourselves, 2 minus 4, that will give us 2. Is 2 in the map? The map doesn't contain 2 now, and so we will now add 2 to it, so we will not enter this part of the code. So we will add 2, and then we would add this like index also. So like in the map, we now have like 3, 0 and 2, 1. And so we will move on to 5. We will subtract 5 from 4, which is minus 1. We ask ourselves, is minus 1 in the array? The answer is no. And so we will add 5 and 5's index, and we move on to 6, subtract, and so like we will finish this entire loop, and then we will never get to this part, and so we will exit and come to this part. And so if we move on to the next part, if we check this is 1 is 4 minus 1 in the map will be empty, so it will be no. So we will add 1 to it, and then we will come to this part. Is 2 minus this one in it? No. 2 is not in the map, and so we will add 2, and then we'll add 2's index to it. And now when we get to this portion, we will now subtract these 2, because these 2 and these 2, they are different. So we will subtract 2 from 4, giving us 2, and then we will ask ourselves, is 2 in the map? Yes, it is, because we already added 2 at this second step iteration for the for loop, and so it will be, and so this code here would execute and it would return true. So let us test if this algorithm if I say this guy, why is it blind? Oh, I have written solution. Right. And so this one gave us false, just as we expected. So if I add an example here, it's supposed to give us true, because right now it is not considering yes. But if we had used the previous algorithm that I had used, it would have returned true for both of these cases, and which is absolutely not correct. And so let us try this one, the previous one. This one for 17, and that is supposed to return true. And if we try this one, it is also returning true. And if we say we are looking for 4, there is already 4 here, but it is still supposed to return false, because we are looking for two numbers that can sum up to 4. And so like if we have 4 and we have 0 in this one, then it is supposed to give us true. But since we have just 4, it is supposed to return false, because there are not two numbers. it's just one number that can sum up to it. C, false. Okay, so I think this one works, and so you are supposed to ignore the first one that I used. That one, like it is correct for only a small test case, but for a bigger this thing it will be wrong. Okay, so thank you very much.